Welcome back to another episode of Whip Media TV. I'm your host, Whip Media Mickey, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do to the channel. Join the Vibe Tribe. Subscribe right now. Let's get it. On today's episode, I cover the Hip-Hop Daily Laws, Part 2.
I was talking to one of my attorneys today, and he called me a unicorn. So it's about just living up to your best being and your best, highest version of yourself. It's a combination of knowing where I came from, knowing where I've been, knowing where I'm going, where I want to go, and just being independent.
March 1st. Awaken the dimensional mind. As you accumulate more skills and internalize the rules that govern your field, your mind will want to become more active, seeking to use this knowledge in ways that are more suited to your inclinations. What will impede this natural creative dynamic from flourishing is not a lack of talent, but your attitude. Feeling anxious and insecure, you will tend to turn conservative with your knowledge, preferring to fit into the group and sticking to the procedures you have learned. Instead, you must force yourself in the opposite direction. As you emerge from your apprenticeship, you must become increasingly bold. Instead of feeling complacent about what you know, you must expand your knowledge to related fields, giving your mind fuel to make new associations between different ideas. You must experiment and look at problems from all possible angles. As your thinking grows more fluid, your mind will become increasingly dimensional, seeing more and more aspects of reality. Daily law, expand your knowledge to related fields. Pick an auxiliary skill and start practicing.
We all wear many hats. I think we're all just dynamic people. And to think that you can't do something, to me, is real limiting. That we're all capable of doing many different things. We just tend to sell ourselves short.
March 16th. Alter your perspective. The lesson is simple. What constitutes true creativity is the openness and adaptability of our spirit. When we see or experience something, we must be able to look at it from several angles, to see other possibilities beyond the obvious ones. We imagine that the objects around us can be used and co-opted for different purposes. We do not hold on to the original idea out of sheer stubbornness or because our ego is tied up with its rightness. Instead, we move to what presents itself to us in the moment. Exploring and exploiting different branches and contingencies, we thus manage to turn feathers into flying material. The difference then is not so much initial creative power of the brain, but in how we look at the world and the fluidity with which we can reframe what we see. Daily law. Creativity and adaptability are inseparable. Look at things today from every possible angle.
With Kanye, I was extremely nervous. I was out in Hawaii, and I had written a verse for Monster, and he said, I think you could do better. So he was like, made me just sit there and start writing out, not raps, but just lines of what I wanted to say. And he told me, now put that into raps. And I was like, okay, Kanye is a genius, and he created a genius moment with that. He went back in and took like some of the parts that I took out and said, no, you need that in. Like I was like, no, I don't want all those growling parts and stuff. He was like, no. That's what's gonna make it epic. You don't get it. Like, trust me. So I trusted him, and that became that.
April 1st. Never outshine the master. In your desire to please and impress, do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish the opposite. Inspire fear and insecurity. Everyone has insecurities. When you show yourself in the world and display your talents, you naturally stir up all kinds of resentment, envy, and other manifestations of insecurity. This is to be expected. You cannot spend your life worrying about the petty feelings of others. With those above you, however, you must take a different approach. See, when it comes to power, outshining the master is perhaps the worst mistake of all. Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power. If your ideas are more creative than your masters, ascribe them to him in as public a manner as possible. Make it clear that your advice is merely an echo of his advice. Daily law. Always make those above you feel comfortably superior. Hip-Hop Daily Laws, Part 2.